This shit is trash, bro. I need a haircut. Like, I can't do this no more. My hair sticks out on the outside now. Like,
that lets people know you got edges.
I got my edges. I'm good.
I got kids here, so I can't say what I want to say. So I'm gonna let you rock.
Yeah, you
got
everybody,
kids?
Welcome back to Late Breakfast. I am Torian B.
I am First Class Reg.
And we have two special guests in the building. We got Jade, aka a little Mayo.
Hey.
And Cleverly Chloe, our resident co-host now. Like, you know, she just here every week. She down about 120 pounds, y'all.
And y'all see that tan? Y'all see that skin?
It's a good tan. It's a good skin.
We in an open state. we all got lockdown skin. We pale.
Yo, y'all stupid.
And we got the usual suspects, Funny Julius, Robert Digital,
Yo,
and Eli P.
What up?
So my prediction was wrong. Candolis is not pregnant.
You don't know yet.
So far.
There's still one more episode. We don't know.
There's still one more episode. I just want to share my sentiment. Ivana came at me last night and said that I jumped the gun and that all men jump the gun when a woman calls a guy constantly, that they think the only urgent thing can be that a woman is pregnant. But the reason why I thought she was pregnant was because they were supposed to be done. There was no loose ends on her side. She didn't want anything to do with him. Like, it was she needed a scratch. He was a rebound. She was done. So if he's no longer her man, I just thought, why the fuck is she hitting him up so much? He already said, I will hit you later. Why was there two more times that she needed to contact him? It's not her man.
Because clearly they had an arrangement to obviously speak prior to that. Like, they clearly were like in conversations about speaking. That's not like she didn't just pull it out.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that he was already. He said I'm out.
Yeah, when she said, because when Ivana said that, I was like, well, I mean, I didn't look at it like that, because looking at it within the constructs of the show. Like, she's reaching out so much, and then we see how Lawrence is kind of on this path of righteousness where, like, he's getting this shit together personally, professionally. Like, he seemed on the right path. I just feel like these characters in this show, when they're on the right path, some shit always knocks them on their ass. So I was thinking from a standpoint of, well, he got all this shit together. What else could go wrong for him? He got his girl back, seemingly. Condola's probably hitting him up because she's pregnant. I felt like it was a good prediction to have. I mean, we still don't know if that's the case or not. Like, because he kind of just glossed over why they even met up.
I'm praying so fucking hard that she's pregnant so I can just get my aha back.
Yes, we want that.
I want her to be. Well, I don't know, because I mean, we already know from how this show is that they just can't end up together and shit just be good. Like, that's just not how it's gonna go.
She needs to be pregnant because I need another season.
Well, they already renewed them.
You talking about he needs her to be on the show? He needs Candolas.
You want Condola? Yeah, she fine.
I think it would be a nice twist on the show. I wish they would, like, do something drastic like that. Like, I mean, yeah. I feel like Andrew is definitely gonna, like, either back up from Molly and things like that, but I would like a shocker ending, like, for one season.
Andrew is sick of Molly shit. Like, he's so sick of it. Did y'all peep yesterday? It was really subtle, but in the episode, when she comes in with the food, and he's like and she was like, "Oh nah, I figured this will be better." And the way he looked at her, because that's not what the fuck he wanted. The way he looked at her, it was like really, really fast. It happened really fast, but it's just little moments like that that's gonna build up, and I don't know. He's gonna lose it.
He be giving Molly the mom look, like when you in the store and you touch something and your mother's like, "Why the fuck would you? Don't you get embarrassed?"
I think he's just seeing a lot in her character, and it's always in the small details. I feel like people really, really break up for the big things. I mean, people do, but I feel like in the end, when you really have a good relationship with somebody or a good connection, you break up over the small details because that's just really a show of your character.
Yeah, but the small details add up to like one. Like they all just slowly they pile onto each other.
She's over. Sure. Also, he's over. The main issue is really the family. He needs her to fix the family thing, and nobody is going to date anybody, whether it's a mother, whether it's a close brother, whether it's like a sibling, a aunt. If the parents or the siblings really don't fuck with whoever you date, it just makes it difficult, especially when you're grown. Like when you're younger, some of your family don't be caring. They be like, this ain't gonna last anyway, so I don't give a fuck. But when you're over 30, if the families don't mix, click the relationship. It's never going to work.
I mean, I think they were foreshadowing a while ago when they were first like trying to get together and they were hanging out in the beginning of the season. And Andrew was like, one of the times they got into it, he's just like, there's always an issue with you. Like she just always has an issue with something. And that are the little deposits that he has to like put away. Like, okay, you fight with my brother. Okay, are you with your best friend? Okay, it's like little by little, he's storing that in the emotional memory bank. And when it comes out time for him to write the big check, she's going to get slapped in her face because he's going to just unload everything. Yeah.
This is technically the third time that they've got back on the right page. Because the first time when she met him, she was like debating about whether if I should date somebody outside of my race. And then they got back together, then they were together. And then when her work schedule and just her being in her feels about nonsense, he looked like he was going to dip too earlier in this season. So now they're fully on a page. It's like after the trip, it's just been like, he's been just going down a list.
Oh, yeah. I thought it was going to be a wrap after the block party.
Well, I think you do that with any relationship though, right? Like I think as a lawyer, it's only a matter of time. She know what it is. You got to build the case and then you present it and then it is what it is. Like, I think even Molly's therapist kind of pointed to that. Like, do you want to be right or do you want to be in a relationship? And unfortunately, Molly's constantly going with her gut to want to be right, and that's downfall.
Okay, go ahead, Ray.
So I was gonna say I kind of had a problem with that advice. Do you want to be right? Why can't I want to be right and be in a relationship?
No, it doesn't work like that.
How it works.
It does not work.
Not in a relationship.
That's because Reg is light skinned. Reg is light skinned. That's why you think.
Okay. I'm just saying. I'm saying for the sake of like having heart to heart and pure conversation, like to be right and have like I know sometimes on some shit you kind of gotta. Why are you pointing at me? You kind of gotta bend on certain shit. There's compromise obviously in relationships, right? But I'm saying if you feel in your heart of heart that you're right, like with her, she's obviously getting advice that she's wrong. We know she's wrong. Everybody around her knows she's wrong. But I'm saying just on the scale of like, you're not wrong 100% of the time.
Reg, can you back up? Always, you don't like Magic. What's his name from?
Wizard Kelly.
Wizard
Kelly. We're only seeing.
My bad. You see me?
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, that's all I'm saying. Like you don't have to be wrong. You don't have to be right all the time, but you got to know your place. But she's also not listening to her therapist.
Right.
Yes, right. Because Molly always wants to be right. She always wants to be right.
So let's go in the order. Let's go in the order of events things went. So we touched on her like pretty much not fucking with Andrew's brother and not wanting to go somewhere to the game, right? She like that's crazy. She didn't want to go to box seats at a Clippers game.
Fucking
yeah, I thought that was corny as hell.
That shit is in LA, like idiot.
Yeah. Right. So I think that was kind of foul because pretty much he had to lie for her, and she pretty much all but said, "You didn't have to lie. You could have just told your brother I didn't want to go." Which is a huge red flag, right?
Crazy.
Which is nobody wants to do that.
Right. That's a huge red flag.
Why would you say that? Why couldn't you just say, "Oh, thanks, babe. Thanks for letting me know." For like a heads up, like. Why? It's okay to lie, Molly. You're a lawyer. That's what you do.
Because she thinks she's right in the situation and she wants she doesn't want to, in her head, she doesn't want to concede to like compromise the situation and fixing with the brother. She takes it as, I was right. Your brother was dead wrong, even though I equally was discriminating against Asians and making stereotypical statements about their culture too. She's just like, I'm right. I'm not cleaning it up with your brother and I don't want to be around him. And if you're going to have a relationship with somebody, you're just never going to not be around the family. You either got to pick and choose your battles. And the thing is like, she's not doing that. And I think the therapist was wrong in saying the statement, you either want to be right or be in a relationship. the whole thing she should have said is that you have to pick and choose your battles and understand compromise. It's not saying that you're wrong, but you're choosing to keep the peace for the greater good. And I think the phrase sometimes got people, and in regards to what Reg said, like, it's not saying that you have to be saying that, okay, I'm going to admit I'm wrong, even though I know I'm right. You just have to be okay with being compromised and pick and choose your battles. And this is not the hill.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know. I feel like the therapist would say that her being right is her ego. And I think that's what most people fail to realize. When you have that much assertiveness about being right, that's not you wanting to be right. That's your ego. And your ego is always going to make you be alone. And I think that's what the therapist was trying to convey to Molly. Like, look, if you're going to fight this hard to be right, then you're going to wind up being right in your own right, but you're going to be alone to figure that out. And I think sometimes in life, with friendships and relationships, unfortunately, you have to make that decision. Like, to pick and choose your battle, but in everything you have to put your ego to the side.
Okay. Right. So the next thing that happened is that we see the montage of Issa and Lawrence getting buck wild on that couch, blessing the new couch. A lot of people forget
that's the same couch.
Huh?
No, it ain't.
That's the same couch.
No, it's not. They threw it out.
They threw it out. See, mute yourself. So, what happened? What's going on is what I didn't think. I thought like that last episode that was just like a one-off fuck, but seeing them I'm like, oh man, they get back into the groove of things. They know each other's bodies. They know it's easy to fall back into that. Like when you know everything about that person and y'all start dipping and dabbling again. And I think Lawrence wanted it and Issa both wanted. Like they're both getting what they want. And I think Lawrence cut off his loose ends, but Issa has not. So then, that's when it comes up that she's helping Nate move, and she kind of gets a little awkward. React.
I think Issa, from the time she called Nathan the first time when she was in the block party, I think she knew she had a gateway into Andrew. So she does feel guilty that she kind of used Nathan. So I feel like she feels that because Molly said it out loud, and it was something that she only hit him up really to not to get back with him, but she really needed the favor. And obviously they're cool, they have a past, they have a history. So you kind of have those sparks of what if. But I think as she kept moving on, remember, she didn't want to hang out with him at the block party. She was like, nah, nigga, you can beat it. I'll need your help. You can go. She just checked in, to try to be a better person with him. But I think she realized how much more removed she was from Nathan. But obviously I feel like he was showing a little bit of haterism and kind of throwing salt on, you bad with that, nigga.
We're going to go in order.
I think people forget with Nathan and Issa that they are technically a hookup. I think because he's been featured so much in the episodes and been talked about so much this season, people forget they had one day of hooking and they were just hooking up. They did not date really as much.
They had a situationship.
They had a situation.
No, they don't.
But
they did.
They hooked up one time.
I agree with Chloe. They had a situationship. Whether you hook up once or twice, but y'all have a chemistry, they have a situationship. But he is featured in the show like a pivotal relationship to her because they had such a strong connection. So I think people are so torn on their relationship and whether she should pick Nathan or Lawrence when I didn't think he had any right to say anything about Lawrence. I was with this man for years. I put up with his shit. We almost got engaged. So you talking spicy, yes, I understand that we have a thing and you feel a way, but you honestly are dirty macking hard right now and you sounding real simple because you're throwing stones. And you don't need to. I get, you can say, listen, I kind of feel away because I feel like we have a thing. But you talk about, the nigga you cheated on, or I hope you get his shit together. Mind your P's and Q's, nigga. At the end of the day, you are a hookup that just got in good with me. So know your role and play your spot.
Yeah.
Relax, bro. I was going through something, all right?
God,
all right.
damn.
I was going through something. Hold
on, guys. Let's reel it back in. Hold on, guys. Let's reel it back in.
Going through something, but you gotta know your role. You were not my boyfriend of 5 years. Yeah. We have a situation. And we have
is it fair to say that
Nate, not on the verge of engagement?
Guys, I want to reel it back in because I'm trying to go in the order that the episode happened.
Yeah.
It's easier to follow that way.
Okay.
All right. Right? So after that montage happens, what happens? Issa decides that she's going to, because she has a dilemma, she's like going through people that she can call. She calls Kelly, and then like we get a nod to like people thinking that Kelly's Spanish on her voicemail. We get her hilarious voicemail, right? Then she calls her brother, and her brother gives her the worst advice. And who she's left with? Her girl, Molly.
Actually, and she left out one person.
Well, who gives a fuck about? Come on. Right. Come on.
Well, she knows she's not gonna get any good advice from Tiffany. And
Tiffany probably will run her mouth. Tiffany's the last person she needs to talk to, right?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So she's reaching out to Molly, but then she has like the fantasy about talking to Molly while Molly like reads her to filth, right? But what happens is that she actually does call Molly right after she leaves her therapist, which was kind of like, was kind of like not weird, but like, wow, like, damn, like I just left my therapist and my therapist is saying that we should like talk and do this. And then I get a call from my best friend. So she thinks it's still her best friend, right? So they speak on the phone about meeting up and they meet up. But do you guys think that they should have met up in the first place? Do you guys think that?
Yes.
I mean, I thought it was a pointless meetup.
No, it wasn't. It was needed. It was Issa wanting her friend back. It was Issa wanting that comfort in being open with somebody, and they have shared secrets, and they know each other, and they have a history with each other, and that was a beautiful move from Issa.
I think in that meetup,
but they didn't get to speak about anything about.
We're not gonna act like Issa wasn't trying to shoehorn her problems into that conversation. She just didn't know how.
And
she wasn't. She was not. She was not. She wasn't.
Problem why Molly and Issa don't get along now.
Nah, she was not trying to shoehorn her problems into that conversation because that was the whole point of the fantasy. She fantasized or not even fantasized, but like she saw herself.
We're talking Issa.
She saw
here.
how it would play out. Listen. So she saw how it would play out. So she went there and she left it open. There was like moments of silence where she wanted Molly to kind of jump in and carry the conversation, which she didn't, and which was really whack-a-Molly. So it was like it was a lot of Issa just talking. And Issa's not confrontational. She's gonna bring up the problem. If you bring up the problem, she's probably gonna address it with you. But she left it open for the shit to be resolved, and it wasn't. Because Molly went there super closed off.
Ready for the you owe me an apology. Molly was ready for an apology. That was it.
Yeah, it's true. The whole thing was a temperature check. I felt like if Molly had
that's true too. Yeah, that was a temperature check.
Her energy already, even from the hug, seemed unopened. It was very closed off because Issa came, hey girl, and Molly was like, hey. So Issa did that as a temperature check to even see if they could have the conversation. Yeah. I feel like if Molly had brought it up, Issa would have totally had the conversation in the situation, but it had been talked out or agreed to disagree. But Molly clearly was just okay with Issa saying she's wrong, and that was the only kind of thing that Molly wanted to hear. Molly was not going to take any responsibility in that conversation, so why should Issa bring it up? She could feel the energy that Molly was not going to take any responsibility, so why get angry and have this whole blow up here where we could just have some mimosas, cute, and go about our business, because we're not going to resolve anything anyway, because I can tell your energy is not open to even have a conversation.
Yeah. I had the impression with them getting some drinks in that they were going to be able to like loosen up the tension, make a couple of jokes, and then get to it. But they didn't. I know for me speaking how I react to things, I would have, as soon as she sat down, I would have talked to her like, hey, listen, I think we need to talk about such and such. But unfortunately, it doesn't go that way.
I legit had to have one of those airing out sessions like Saturday night, and we had the formalities, the check-ins, how you been, and then me and my homeboy, we had to sit and get to the nitty-gritty of the issues. And then the problem is that both Molly and Issa are looking for some level of maturity in one another that they both haven't reached yet, but they both aren't willing to do because they're afraid of what this overall is going to mean. I think they're both afraid of this meaning this really could be the end, but instead of nipping it in the butt, they're just holding on to the idea of who each other used to be. And they're still not meeting each other halfway. They have this great history of this friendship, but it's all deemed about the past. Nothing about
friendship. Why do you think that is? Why do you think that is?
I think they're not realizing that they've both grown apart. And I think sometimes that's hard to admit for friends that have been along with each other for a long time. Your lives are now in different places and you could either choose to accept that or not. And I think clearly on Issa's side, she sees that Molly is not accepting anything of me. She's only bringing up my past fuck ups, my past fumbles, my past anything. And she's not accepting, like, girl, you can't even accept that you came to my fucking block party. You didn't even give me my props on that. And that is the biggest thing I have ever done. So you can't accept me cutting off Daniel, me kind of keeping my distance from Nathan, me just doing me, and me even actually keeping my distance from Lawrence for a while. You have accepted nothing that I've done in progress. So, like, how can I even have a real conversation with you when you can't give me anything? I give you props. You have a new boyfriend. You're doing your thing with your job. You're in a thing. And you can't give me shit on nothing? Girl, you're not breaking bread on shit. You can't even give me my props and light me up if I'm your homie? Fuck it. We ain't got nothing to really talk about. We can keep this light because you're not going to give me what I need to feel safe in this relationship. And you accept me, the new me.
Exactly.
I haven't grown.
Yeah, that's true, too.
I can't give you nothing.
That's a good point. I ain't mad at that.
So moving along, you know that we go from that scene and then we move on to Issa helping Nate move. Right on cue.
Why? Why? Oh, sorry, Torian. Go ahead.
Issa gets there and she is super awkward. Like she jacked him up.
I mean, it's her thing.
Hey, homie.
Yeah, she how she was going to greet him and everything. Yeah. And I'm not gonna lie. I've been in Nate's shoes before, where like I had a situationship with a girl, and she had to tell me that, like, you know, because everything was so fluid and free with her and I, and she had to figure out how to tell me that she was taking other dudes seriously. And like I just had to like pick up on like, whoa, what's going on? And then, you know, she be like, you know, me and Trayvon got back together. But
not in this climate, not with that name in this climate.
You know, she you know, I'm not Trayvon's a real person, nigga. But yeah, you know,
I can't talk to her.
I also got curved for a Caesar. So,
but this goes back to what I said. I think she's doing this for Nathan as reciprocation of the favor he did to her. She kind of wants to put in clear, like, you know, I'm not this user of a person. I am a good person. I genuinely do care about him. You know, we're in a cool place. She goes there out of the kindness of her heart to try to make it right. You know what I mean? To try to make this on a level playing field. And I think she obviously, of course she does. Does she still, like, you know, think he's cute or like him? Yeah. But where she's at with Lawrence right now, she's comfortable exploring this new, and I appreciate her for being honest and that level of communication between the two of them. She's like, listen, before we get deeper into whatever this is, this is the situation. She learned from a lesson in the past. I think that was even the most memorable.
Yeah, people are not giving her enough credit for that. And also, too, like, everybody was like, why she tell Nathan she didn't owe him anything? It's not being messy. It's actually being an adult. And also, we saw she told him and how nasty he was. Can you imagine if she didn't say anything? And how nasty he would be like 3 months from now, a couple weeks from now.
Was he being nasty though?
He was.
He was
pure
he was filthy for that.
Petty shots.
Yeah, he was
you like being petty, so that's okay.
Rob,
but it was petty shots.
Problem, Rob. Nah, seriously, hold on, real quick. I'll come to the front of the fucking church.
All right, so I'm here. What up?
What's up with you? Like, more like, why would you problem? What's your problem? Rob, what is your problem thinking that you can say shit like that to a girl just because she's being honest with you, telling she's going back to her ex? You're just going to be like, oh, so you talking about the nigga that used to beat on you? You going back to him? Like, you that kind of nigga.
I'm just saying, like,
you the nigga that, you going back to that nigga that made you get an abortion? Really?
That's that ego shit. That's the ego shit.
I'm just saying, if
that's being petty and that's ego.
Nah, yeah, that's definitely Rob.
If you want trials instead of memberships, you could do that. All I'm saying is Nathan brought up valid points. You complained about this nigga being indecisive, yada yada yada, and you're back with him. And the plot thickens.
Yeah, but
and then you shoot at me. Then you shoot at me for my mental health. Are you kidding?
Nah.
Number one, she didn't shoot at him.
But you gotta understand. You gotta understand, like, yo, these people lived with each other. They were in love with each other. When you're in love with someone, none of the rules apply. Everything changes.
We had a relationship. We were planning a life together.
You cheated on him. What did you even care?
It doesn't.
You don't go away.
Also, too,
It doesn't
matter if you cheated on him. Wait. Let's back up.
Love should have brought you home, and it didn't. You went to Daniel's crib. What are we talking about here?
You see, this is how I know.
In the studio. What are you talking about?
Hold on.
Relax.
No.
Relax.
Relax, because you're going far.
You went to go find love with some nigga making beats. That's what you did.
Let it go. He's back to
You're over. Rob is oversimplifying it. They were in a relationship. They were planning a life together. Yes, she cheated. She admits that. She's not parsing that at all. But at the end of the day, we were in a situation, because for as much as Issa cheated, there was a lot that Lawrence did to even get her to that point. It wasn't like they had a rosy-ass relationship and then she just was like, bam, I'm fucking and sucking out here. I had to carry you. I was supporting you. And it's the same thing. And men would do the same thing. I know plenty of men who would be like, I was supporting this chick. I'm going to fuck because I got to support somebody. So don't look at it. It's amazing how when a woman cheats, now she's a slut. She's a treat. Throw her out.
I ain't
cheating all the time for less reasons. A lot of men be cheating. They have a supportive woman who's working. They be like, I'm fucking. Lisa had to carry him. I'm paying. I'm the one working, and you are collecting dust on the couch. I cheat, and now all that is negated of what you did. And my thing is that Lawrence came back, and he brought up, well, what happened if we had worked out? Issa didn't bring that up.
Mm-hmm.
Issa never came to him once he was dating Condola, like, well, why did we never work out? Lawrence, when they had a drink, Lawrence could have kept to a light drink and hung out. He brought up, I bought a ring.
She never brought it up, but she thought about it.
She thought about it.
Of course she did.
Lawrence broached that conversation with Issa. Issa had long thought that door was closed. So at the end of the day, Lawrence is the one who got this shit started. I'm not putting this on Issa. She always has felt a way about Lawrence, and they still have a connection because they've been with each other so many years. But at the end of the day, Lawrence started this whole ball rolling. So don't bash Issa. Like, nobody had a problem with Lawrence was fucking Bank Girl. Like,
but she was fired.
He was fucking through pain. She was fired. Because in real life and in the show.
Fire. You fucked the person that you told me not to worry about. You're a bum.
Guess what? I wasn't worrying about her until I got my heart broken.
Because niggas be like, you gonna fuck my man? So you gonna fuck the person you told me not to worry about? He's just as wrong too for that. Because you would have fucked anybody, but you fucked somebody right there that you told me not to worry about?
Yo, Torian, please listen to my friend, bro, because I'm getting tired.
Like, yo, you not broke. You doing it.
She looking out for me. She building me up.
She was looking at the glass half full. There's nothing wrong with that.
Dwayne Reed.
So listen, we're not gonna leave this, right? So after Nathan threw his pot shots, he admitted to her that he was diagnosed as bipolar, right?
Yeah.
Bipolar. So, number one, we don't know what fucking Nathan we getting. Because niggas
We saw it. That little...
Right? Yeah, right?
We saw the bar. I saw the polar.
So we getting... We
saw the bar. I saw the polar.
We got Nate and we got Nathan. We got Nate. We got Nasty Nate and we got Nathan, right? So my thing is just that with that being brought to the table... I personally think, me knowing a person that Issa is kind of like a nurturer and like a beater, so I think she's gonna wind up with Nate. That's just my prediction.
I don't think so.
Of course she is.
High-key manipulative. That was like manipulation 101, and I don't like when people who play with mental illness and use that as manipulation, because he only said it in a moment when he thought he was about to be out of the running. Like when he would hit and say shit to her.
That's some Rob shit.
Huh?
Nah, I disagree.
He
only used it once or twice. He only done that once or twice. You can't hold that against me.
But why did he pick that? Why did he pick that moment? Like, yo, before you go back to your ex nigga, I know I ghosted you, but he's digging on each other the whole time.
This is the first time.
Under Issa's notion, we've always seen the conversation about Nate's mental health, but not Nate saying anything. Okay. Everybody else has something to say.
But this is the first time.
The first time he said something.
Yeah, I don't
this
think
is the first time that this is the first time that Issa's actually asked him about it the way that she did, or came at him the way that she did. Because again, Issa isn't confrontational. So she She came at it from an angle because she was basically just defending herself. She was like, well, at least that nigga shows up for me. At least that nigga didn't leave me because this and that. And so to counter that, he's like, well, I didn't just leave you. And then they had a real conversation about it. If you think about it, they haven't really had a full conversation
Whose
about
fault
this.
is that? That's Nathan's fucking fault.
It is, but I'm saying him bringing it up
wasn't
to like.
No.
He brought it up because he was attacked in that moment.
She wasn't attacking him. She made an articulate argument about why he couldn't talk about her relationship.
It was attacking.
Issa, it was a slight dig, but also too, Issa only knew that Lauren, Nathan ghosted and Molly sent him away. They didn't have a conversation, or they at least showed us why he ghosted. She knew that he bounced, but there was never a discussion of what was the actual reason why. He's like, I was just going through some shit. That could mean I have a whole family. He did not say until that moment, I was actually dealing with a mental health issue. I am diagnosed as bipolar. When people be saying I was dealing with some stuff, that could mean anything. That could mean homeless. He didn't have to say that I was bipolar. Like, so my thing is that was the first conversation they actually had about what the actual issue was. So I don't fault Issa for saying what she said, but it was clarified in that moment. But he only brought that up once Issa brought up the reason why he left. And it was a little manipulative because after he said it, oh, I'll still earn it, kind of dirty Mac a little. So it's like, you're really saying this to keep Issa
That was before that. That was after that. Like, they had the conversation. I think for him, it was something that he was still trying to come to terms with. So for him to even say it was picking.
Who got a baby?
I had a birthday party going on.
Turn that baby down. Turn that baby down.
The baby's not wearing a mask. I can't help it.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Wow.
Listen. I felt that him saying that it was bad timing, but it was needed because in the conversation they were able to actually like get somewhere and like talk and actually continue. Because I think if he didn't say that she probably just would have wound up just leaving.
Right, that's why he did it.
I don't think that what Nate was doing was manipulative. It was desperate, but it wasn't manipulative. I'm gonna say why it was desperate. It was desperate. It was desperate because he wanted to. Because obviously he was like, "Yo, I actually want you in my life." Because she was dead concerned when he went missing. So I think he like knew that, and he wanted to like hold on to that. Like, well, like I want you in my life. So I understand how it could be viewed as toxic, but I think that Nate just knows like, yo, you're a good person and I need good people in my life. I got
you don't need that.
I'm fucking crazy. And I need a person to like keep me grounded. And he also probably felt like, yo, like I'm way better than Lawrence. I won't do you like how Lawrence did. I'm a hard worker. I cut this shit.
I got my own business.
But also too, that's unknown.
And it's thriving.
Because even him saying that he's bipolar and even if he has a thing with him, it still is a choice for her because we don't know what kind of bipolar he is. There's so many spectrums of that level of bipolar, how destructive it is or whatever he's on. And also, some people are not built to deal with the man themselves and their personal issues and a mental health issue. And that is a choice people have to make. Whether if I date you and I know you have this, that is a choice that I'm taking on to deal with whatever comes with your health issue and you as a person, your own idiosyncrasies and things like that. So we haven't even gotten to that.
Oh, that's a good word.
But my thing is like, she has to make that choice of, I want to take on the good and bad. I've only seen a little bit of you disappearing. I don't know how you are when you're in an episode, how that's going to affect me and disrupt my life. So Issa has to make a decision, even if she likes Nathan, if I want to choose to deal with his disease. And that's a fair choice that she has to make.
So we already know how that goes because she doesn't do well with compensation.
No, that's not that. You don't know because anybody else she dated didn't have a mental health issue. That's a whole other thing. You just being a weird nigga.
What I'm saying is she doesn't do well with confrontation, but she also doesn't do well holding and managing other people's emotions. Because when Lawrence was going through the same thing and they finally had a conversation about it, she didn't know how to process that either.
At the time, back then, that was a long time ago.
A long time ago.
I don't think she can process it now. Because who's to say Lawrence is not one bad job away from having the same moment? Yeah, he's on a win streak, but we don't know what that looks like for him either. And that's a chance he would have to risk as well. I think the problem with me is Nate low-key look like Daniel, and she's treating him like he's Like he's her emergency dick in the glass.
No,
and that's why she
All right.
wound up.
This is one thing that I'm going to say, right? And this probably is some toxic shit, but I'm gonna make this statement. One of the biggest problems between Issa and Lawrence wasn't fucking Issa. Nate is going to be dropping that shit off. All right? That's one thing that he's definitely going to be doing. So all that bipolar shit is probably going to make a huge difference because Nate don't have no problems in the bedroom area. There were certain things that a woman can put up with. A woman will put up with you not having a job. A woman will put up with you not paying her attention. A woman will put up with you being broke and being sad. But if you're not fucking her, she is gone. That's a fact, Jack. And Nate ain't got no problem doing that.
No problem.
We don't know if this thing is going to manifest. So I'm just curious. I don't know who it's going to be, honestly. I can't say that I think it's going to be Lawrence or I think it's going to be Nathan. I don't know because Lawrence also, too, is, he may be leaving. He may take the job.
Right.
Can we please get to the next part, please?
Yes. So, enter Andrew's apartment. Molly and Andrew are getting dinner. Well, they're having takeout, and it is not what. Andrew bought the takeout, correct?
Yes. No, she bought the takeout.
No, Molly did.
Molly bought the takeout, and it's not what Andrew wanted.
He made a suggestion to say that he wanted Indian food.
Right.
And she was like, well, that makes me poo, so I'm getting Asian or Thai food or whatever.
Right.
And
so they're already, and then they begin to have a back and forth because they were talking about the game and everything like that. And so they start talking about her and Issa meeting up, right?
No, that happened after the diner thing.
That happened after
the diner.
Sorry, guys. I'm trying to get it.
By the time I got to the food, they were talking about him. He had went to the game and he still felt the way that she didn't show up. And they were talking about the food. She didn't get the food.
So they were having a heated moment and Nate and Issa come in and Issa and Nate can feel the tension in the air and they are trying to get the fuck out of there. But Molly knowing like, oh shit, like I look crazy. Let me try to show that I'm making strides. Asking them to stay. And they chill, they kiki, they start, drinking and everything like that. And they talk about a drinking game coming up. And then Andrew, being the great, I think Andrew is amazing. Andrew is the best.
I really think he's great.
Right?
Yeah.
He gets up.
Yeah, he's great.
Molly doesn't deserve him.
No.
So Andrew gets up to go get more drinks. And this is what fucked me up. And tell me if I'm wrong. If you mistakenly text somebody, isn't it usually somebody that you either recently have in your text thread, and obviously her and Issa haven't been speaking. That's one.
Mm-hmm.
Two, Andrew and Issa, the letters are no A and I are nowhere together. So how the fuck did she just mistakenly text Issa?
That can happen.
I think sometimes when you're talking about somebody and you type their name, that can happen. I'm just saying Molly is the fucking messiest of the fucking messy.
Exactly. Why would you? Number one, you with your man in his apartment. Let me break this down. In his apartment, right? Why can't you
go, Julius,
for the later day, huh? Or the later night? Why do you have to text something about your friend at that moment? That's wrong. Molly is the. I hate
like
Molly.
y'all just had eye contact that was like that acknowledged that you was doing a good job. Why did you have to double back and text on top of that? Like
you didn't
have to do
glass
that.
Of milk.
Thank you.
A spilled glass of milk.
I think Issa did the right way. I would have left too. I'm not staying here.
I actually thought the scene was going to be brought up about the block party because also too when drinking games are happening and stuff like that, I really thought the whole issue of the block party was going to come up. I did not think that the text thing was even going to happen. So that was just a shock in itself because they kind of
that was actually a cool drinking game.
That her and Andrew were going to have. So I thought the block party thing was going to be brought up again because literally everybody involved was right there. So,
yeah.
So Molly said in the text was just so fucking unnecessary because, like Reg said, he already had looked around the corner like, okay, I see you. You making peace.
Yeah.
Cool. You said in the text was just dummy, just pure.
He's like, see, I'm trying with her. Like
a glass of spilled milk because she's a mess. Why would that was so disgusting? And then you not only did you violate your friend, right? Now you violated the future that you had with your friend because Their whole friendship was easily repairable through communication. Like that part really, really, really hurt me. And I'm happy that Issa said that maybe this wasn't for me. And you know what? Molly doesn't deserve any bit of happiness. She doesn't deserve it.
Yo, Molly, like
nothing.
It's just crazy that she would jump to that. Well, I don't know if we're at that part yet. Tori, we still, because I'm have it in my head. Are we still in the house, or are we on the part where she's leaving?
We can just go straight to the part where she's leaving, because the part where she's leaving was nuts. So
okay,
let's get to that part, right?
So she dips out the house because obviously she gets that text, and she gets the text. She calling her Uber, and Molly following after her, and they have that whole exchange, and the whole truth comes out of like, yo, that's how I've been feeling. Like, you know, like I've been having a try with you. They go over their whole awkward moments that they've been having, and Molly pretty much comes to the fact that like, yo, like this, we're at two different spaces or whatever, like that's just not working. And it was just weird to me because it's like, well, it's not working now that Issa finally got her life together. Like Issa's finally happy. Like I feel like throughout the whole relationship, it's only been working because Molly has been the friend that's been the bailout, and she's used to being that person. So, but now that her friend finally got her shit together, it's like it goes back to her ego, where it's like, well, now you won't need me as much, and now you're a counterpart instead of like, and she's never looked at her as a counterpart instead of her being like an equal. So it was already just a toxic friendship all around from the jump.
I think Issa just saw, I think also too, Issa was extra offended because it just confirmed her worst fears. Like they had that little kiki at the diner. So she was like, okay, we're kind of cool enough. And then eventually we're going to talk about the issues. I think Issa just saw, so this whole time you have literally, you don't really fuck with me at all. And you have been playing all this time that we are cool when you clearly have not seen it from me at all. Like you were okay with us being done. And I'm out here reaching out, and I think Issa just had regret of like, we should have never linked up for lunch. I should have never hit you because clearly you were just like, okay with dumping me because you felt like I was useless anyway. So the insult of that, like you could have just said like, I'm really not feeling you right now. I'm in a weird spot. Even at the diner, even if y'all had a good time, you could have just said, listen, I'm not in a place right now where I may be able to have this conversation, but I'm not really, I feel like our energies are not mixing or we're just not in the same place. And maybe at another time they could have left it at that. Like we had a good time, but we're dipping and we're going to keep our separate distance. But the fact that it made it seem like it was all cool at the diner to get that text the next day or whatever, like it just was a whole slap in the face of like, you've never seen it from me. You should have never had those drinks and fuck you.
Well, I think what happens is initially as best friends, when you have that deep of a relationship and bond, it's like, you think like, hey, well, if we did this, we went to lunch, it should be over. And I think this is probably the most heartbreaking episode or the most heartbreaking scene for me personally. Like, I've had best friends, and like separating from a best friend is worse than a divorce. It's worse than a relationship. You can feel it breaking apart, and you can see in Issa's face that she didn't want it to break that way that day. And she was like, well, if that's how you feel, I guess there's nothing I can do. And in some regard, I think Issa respects Molly for at least being honest with her for the first time.
No, there's no respect. Issa doesn't respect her for being honest. If you were honest, you would have said that at the diner. If you were honest, you would have said that at the block party. One, you wouldn't even show up at a block party if you don't fuck with me. You just are clearly playing this role like we're still cool and we're not. You don't see me as equal. You definitely don't see me as a friend. And
how many people do that, Jade? How many people have best friends? And
I see my friends as equals. I can't be with you if you're not equal. You're not my fan.
That's not what I said. What I said is you can be going through whatever you're going through, but you know as a best friend, you have to be supportive. So even if she didn't want to go, she knows she had to go because she has loyalty to Issa. Even if she wasn't,
you not go because she was talking shit the whole time until she saw Vince Staples come out and was like, oh shit, she really did that. But like she was sitting up in VIP, she was standing around like, I mean, this is cool. Like you had a bad attitude coming into it, so like you really didn't have to show back. Oh, I would rather your funky energy stay the fuck home and you throwing shots the whole day, and then just eat some funky wings as a peace offering. Like you literally didn't see it from me the whole process. Like this thing would have failed if I just listened to your ass and followed how our friendship normally goes. This whole thing would have never happened. So for me, I'm like, that didn't show any respect. You don't respect me at all, and you never show respect, and it just confirmed what I already thought. You are not really.
Wait, just to jump in really quick, my phone is gonna die. I don't want my phone to die on you guys. Yeah. But what was the last thing I was gonna say? Yeah, like even you bringing up the wing situation, like even that she didn't see on her own. Andrew once again had to let her see that she was wrong. Thank you. She put this whole shit together. Like she did everything, and it takes a lot out of her. Maybe she's just going through it, and you need to step in and be a friend. And then she goes over there and offer them.
Like that to something that God could understand. He was like the same way when you didn't have time for me because you were focusing on work. This is what Issa's focusing on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. Like he has to
please.
I think the layers of development have been placed here so well that we have had so much invested in this friendship that we know their quirks and their twerks, and we also know where this breakdown is coming from. And to see it play out, and they're playing it perfectly. I think this shit is amazing because we've been rooting for this friendship the whole season. It's like before all the chaos was focused on the men. And now this season, it's not the men who are causing the issues. It's a woman and woman, their relationship. And we have to see what our flaws are in terms of people in general, but women of color in terms of our pride, our ego, and communication. And we're dealing with each other, not just dealing with men. Because we can shit on United all day. But like when it comes time for us to unite and hold each other accountable, I think it's been really telling to see how far Molly was willing to not be there for her friend. And somebody who calls themselves your friend, they should always think the best of you. And Molly always chooses to go to the worst part. So I'm hoping that Issa realizes, I think she has realized that this person doesn't even see the best of me. She only wants to focus on the day. So I think she's at that breaking point. This is the fork in the road. I think they're about to split.
You know how whack it is for a man to tell you as a woman that you're being a whack bitch to your friend? You're instantly a whack bitch. Like, as we say as women, stay out of women's business. A whole ass man has to intervene in your friendship to tell you as a woman, as a grown ass woman, to be a better friend. You are a whack bitch because no man should even know that you're going through that much with your friend.
Right.
Damn, yo.
You should have never known that you are treating your friend that whack or seen it that much that he could comment on it. So that just shows me the level of disrespect of Molly, that my own boyfriend is commenting on our friendship because he really thinks that I'm being that bad of a whack bitch.
And that's what also I don't respect Molly for. She's come at Issa in public way too many times.
Yeah, you tried to fight, you tried to knuckle up.
Me and my friends, when we're going through, we do not argue in public. We do not argue on social media. You will never know unless I'm being shady and throw a legitimate sub, and you would know. But like, I hate that level of disrespect.
A glass of spilled milk.
But yo, I'm sorry. Just to give my proper exit. I'm sorry, guys. I'm on 3% now, so I got to dip. But I'm sorry. I wish I have my fucking charger with me. Yeah. But yeah, that's, I mean, pretty much for me, this is a really groundbreaking episode for them. Showed a lot of, shout out to Kerry Washington for directing this shit. I saw the commentary that they had on her where like, she was like, well, usually when we have directors on board, they pretty much just go with the flow of the show. But Kerry came in with like fucking notes. Like, yo, like, this is what we need to change. This is what we should do. How about we try this? Which is really fucking dope. And I enjoyed it. I don't know. I'm waiting for the last episode. I don't know how that's gonna go. I hope it's an hour. I think last season, what did they give us? Like 45 minutes?
Yeah, 45 minutes.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. All right. Well,
I mean, that's a start.
Yeah. But all right, guys. I'll talk to you guys soon. I'm on my way home. Later.
Bye.
Yeah. I just think a man chiming in on personal issues between friends is whack, and it just makes you look whack as a woman.
Now that we got him out of here.
Wow. Such a hater.
No, Hayden. Whatever, Chloe.
I get tired of looking at Red's face. It's too nice.
You another hater.
Oh, why are you hating? You have such.
I hate on him every week.
His face is so symmetrical. It's annoying.
Rob is a colorist. Rob hates.
He is.
Wow.
Because anybody light skin, you got so much ether. Anybody dark skin, you be like, ah.
She said so much.
What I wanted to say is that Molly obviously suffers from being a perfectionist,
a narcissist,
and she's already hard on herself, and the way she handles things with Issa, I think, is what, like, I think she just always thinks that Issa can do better, but opposed to like saying that and like being like her, you know, being a friend, being a cheerleader, she pretty much like just like comes down on her, and is really like, it's really sad that she's doing that and like pushing her friend away, because I think that like Molly's the kind of person, like when things are going well, she just ruins it. She blows it up. And last night's episode was really, really like, it really made me sad. Like how you guys said, like, because their friendship, you would think like, okay, like they would be able to get past this, but it's obvious that I don't see how things are going to be repaired. Only way things are going to be repaired is if Andrew dumps Molly, and then Molly's energy has to be shifted. And I'm not saying that's a problem with women. No, if Andrew dumps Molly,
she gonna blame
Molly will be humbled, and Molly, I guarantee you, Molly will go to Issa and be a different kind of friend. Because
I think friendships like this that go through this type of pivotal moment, because in real life, you usually only come together for a couple of reasons. If something catastrophic happens in your life, and it forces people to realize that life is too short. Like somebody's family member has to be sick or die, or you like, there literally has to be somebody that we lose so that you realize the importance of the person in your life, so you don't want to lose that person. It's not going to take Andrew dumping her, because Issa's not really invested in that relationship with Molly and Andrew. She don't kick it with them. She don't hang out with them. She don't really know. Like, oh, you have
business.
So she don't have nothing invested in that.
I think
Tiffany's going to commit suicide through postpartum depression. Is going to bring them all together.
No, I don't think they're killing off Tiffany. No.
That's mad.
No, tries to kill herself.
I mean,
see.
I mean, that'd be extreme, but I mean, I think they should.
Yeah, Rob, that was dark.
I mean, it's dark for the show, but I think they should cover it, because I feel like a lot of young women who are around that age group who are having babies are having those issues. So I think it's something they should cover more. They allude to it in a kind of a funny way. And I thought it was great that they brought up the thing of the mental issues with men and women, because sometimes in relationships, those aren't handled properly. But I think that they should bring up the postpartum thing more, because I feel like a lot of women go through that and not be so flippant and funny about it. Like, they should talk about it. I think it'd be cool. But I do think that if Molly breaks up with Andrew, she's definitely going to blame Andrew, one, because she's going to be like, his brother was in his ear. Or she's going to blame Issa, because she's going to be like, you overstepped the boundaries I set by you hitting Andrew, and now Andrew felt the way about our friendship. And if you hadn't hit him, he would have felt the way about me and you. So she's going to blame Issa a little bit.
All this is leading up to Issa cheating on Lawrence again.
Oh,
you want that to happen, clearly, because you just think, no, you want that to happen again. But it's no cheating on you if I'm not with you.
Right.
I think Lawrence showed his hand too quick and ended things with Condola.
You feel
and put too much expectation into Issa, knowing that Issa, you can't put that much hope into Issa. You
clearly have to feel like Issa is a smut and should have no use for Lawrence at all.
I never said that. Stop spreading this narrative.
Clearly, you're like, I don't know, Lawrence is going to get hurt by Issa. Like, Lawrence is innocent. Like, what the fuck? Like, Lawrence is not innocent in it. Yes, Issa fucked up, but Lawrence is not innocent in it at all.
My point is that I think that Lawrence is going to wind up getting that job anyway, and Issa already let it be known that she's not with him on this relationship shit. So,
I think it's.
With that being said, I think Lawrence is going to make that choice, and I think that, you know, Issa's going to wind up staying, and she's going to wind up trying to see where things go with Nate. Like, I don't know if did you guys watch the preview?
I did.
Oh, I did.
Yeah, like she goes to his job and like meets people. Like, she's continuing to hang out with Nate. That's not good.
That's not good at all. You're not supposed to do that if you just want to be friends.
And that's why she gonna cheat on Lawrence.
No,
that's why she gonna cheat on Lawrence.
Yo, what is Lawrence in a relationship yet? Like, relax. You, like I said, I don't think Issa is terrible. You clearly think Issa's cheating for breathing. Like, what the fuck? Jeez, How many times do men cheat?
Well,
Jesus Christ.
it depends, though. Because
We cheat a lot, but we don't cheat for the same issues.
Don't cheat for less. That makes y'all cheat.
Right. Shut up, Rob. You sound dumb.
Well, everything
Don't cheat
really
for the stakes are high.
everything really depends on who she's going to be with, if Lawrence gets this job or not.
True.
Yeah.
So if he does get the job, he's going to take it because he feels stuck in this season. He feels stuck, and he didn't get that meeting that he wanted. So he's going to go somewhere else. So now, if he does get this job, Nathan will be the winner. Well, quote unquote, the winner.
We don't know. I feel like Nathan got some other skeletons that we don't know yet. So I feel like I can't like.
Because he got split personalities and they got multiple girlfriends and shit.
There's a lot. We feel so much about Nate because we just like the chemistry between them, but we really don't know anything about Nathan. So like we know enough about.
Apparently, he kidnapped LaToya.
But we've seen enough of Lawrence from the beginning. We come to admire him. We've seen his growth. So we've seen Lawrence's journey to where he is now. We don't know nuts about Nathan at all, just Issa and him dating day in and day out. So we have to see. I'm not saying that Nathan is exactly a prize. We don't know what the fuck he is. Honestly, so I'm not saying that it's going to be a win. It could be even a worse dub than Daniel and Lawrence fucking with Nathan. We don't know. We just like their chemistry together, what we've seen, but we really don't know nothing about Nathan.
All right, so to cap off this episode, I just want to ask everybody, what do you think? There's 3 things that can happen, right? She goes, her and Lawrence ride off into the sunset. She continues dating Nate and gets the bottom knocked out of her, or she deals with neither one of them. Which one of the 3 you guys think? I think it's Nate. I think she's gonna let Nate give her that.
I think they should surprise you all and not deal with nobody.
Oh,
okay. You putting too much growth on Issa.
You're not putting enough on what Issa's done this season.
Thank you. You are a hater, Rob. Issa can't do shit.
Okay.
Issa was so great, but she still cheated 3 seasons ago. Like, god damn.
What you think, Julius?
Go ahead,
I honestly believe that Issa may damn, I know Issa's not going to go with Lawrence because I believe Lawrence is going to get the job. But so it could go either 2 ways. For me, it's 2 ways. I have a theory that it's going to be nobody. I'm going to agree with Chloe. I'm going to say she's going.
All right, cool. And I'm holding you to it, and that's it. That's you don't get 2 ways. You only get 1. All right, cool.
Okay,
James,
fine. She's going to surprise us. Okay.
I feel like it may. I feel like it may be Nathan. I just feel like Lawrence is going to take the job. And I feel like Nathan, I feel like she's going to date him. Not like, I don't think it's going to instantly be like relationship. I feel like she's going to be like, let's actually explore us actually dating. Because we literally never got to do that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Rob, tiebreaker.
Oh, here's Rob. She's a slut. She shouldn't deserve anybody.
Nah, she's going to pick me.
Sheesh.
I think what's going to happen is she's going to go to the barbershop. She's going to wind up closing the barbershop with him. He's really going to express his feelings to her. They're going to wind up sleeping together. And she's going to go to Lawrence like, look, I did this. I don't know why I did it. I don't know if I'm really ready to
Rob, I just want to know who the fuck is
answers. Not just fucking Scooby-Doo villain plotline. Give an answer.
Nate. It's going to be Nate.
Like, who hurt you?
Yeah, really. Question.
It's a list. It's a laundry list, Chloe. It's a laundry list of women that hurt
Fuck
you.
Torian.
It's a fucking laundry list, all right?
Torian.
Yeah. Well, today was a good episode that we just did of the recap of Insecure episode 9. I'm low-key trying. I really want to thank everybody for coming through. I want to thank Jade for taking the time. I know Jade is very busy and her time is precious.
I
want to thank Cleverly Chloe, because, she in Dallas, Texas, out there just,
She's chefing.
I'm cooking. Sorry, I'm making crab cake.
That's what I'm saying. Like, she domesticated and shit. I want to thank Julius in his wig.
And the sidekick. Shout out to the sidekick.
Oh, yeah, and the sidekick.
That sidekick.
I want to thank my co-host, First Class Reg. I want to thank Eli P. And Rob, I'm not thanking you for shit, but thanks for coming.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. So I'm Torian B, a first class resident charge his damn phone. But thank you guys for watching. This is Late Breakfast. I'll see you guys next week.
Rob.